We're going straight to YouTube, which I've done these as well before. Webinar is now streaming live on YouTube is what we say. Yes, there we go. Super. All right. So basically all the times that we were chatting, streaming live everybody could see us. What we say. Yes, there we go. Super. Boom. We are live. Thank you, world, for dealing with my technical difficulties, right? It's such a blessing to be able to have this incredible technology that we have now in the world. And sometimes it just gets a little crazy, you know, and that's okay. So Kathy Kristen here. Kathy Kristen from kathykristen.com and Live Elevated. We are here today with Chip Baker in our Live Elevated lifestyle class. And guys, I'm so excited for you guys to get to meet Chip. It's such a small world how things come around, because Chip actually had seen me speak at something, and long story short, he ends up that he has been in education for over 20 years here in Houston, in the northern part of our territory. And, you know, he also is a football coach. He works with special needs. He's super passionate. He wrote a book, and his book is called Going Through Your Go Through, and just helping people really elevate themselves in order to succeed at the highest levels. And as we decided to do podcasts together and have a show together, one of my students, Roman Lee, who actually runs our vector marketing Cutco Cutlery operations, he's doing an internship with us right now, learning to run his own business, actually was personally coached and trained by Mr. Baker. So how wild that the young man that he helped shape and mold is the young man who's running one of my companies now and giving back and shaping and molding so many other people. It's just so cool to see how like the universe conspires and brings people together. And Chip is really, from everything I've heard from the guys, because I went in and did my research, you know, with the guys he coached in football. And these guys just rave about who he is, and the type of you know, just like, not just, oh, he's a great coach, but just who he is, which to me is a sign of just the best leaders. It's not just what they do for people, but it's who they are, and having people that are like, man, I want to be just like that. So Chip, thank you so much for being here today with us. I really am excited to have you on our show today.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come on this amazing show and spend time with you. You know, first, same sentiments to you. I think what you do is amazing. And I just consider it an honor to be, you know, get opportunity to chop it up with you.
Well, we're definitely going to have some fun. So I'm super excited. So Chip, tell us about, I know you had mentioned that your family has been in education. It's kind of ran in the family that's been there. So you can give us a little background on that, but where did the book come from for you? What was it in your past and your journey that led you to want to start the book? We can kind of start there and just kind of roll from there. Okay. And would love to talk also about how the Success Chronicles came about too. And I'm sure they all kind of coincide, but give us a little background on you.
All right. As far as background, yes, I'm a fourth generation educator. This is my 20th year in education as a teacher and coach. And I've done everything, like you said, under the special ed umbrella. And I don't know, just I guess giving service and helping others. It's in the blood. You know, my mother's side of my family are educators and church folks, and my father's side of my family, just hardworking people, good people as well. And so I've truly been blessed to be raised by and be around some awesome folks in my family, in my life, as well as in my career. And that's kind of where the Success Chronicles came from. I've always been a give back type of person. You know, what I can do to help, to elevate, you know. And I started the Success Chronicles a little over 2 years ago, about 2.5 years, to show appreciation to those amazing people that I had in my life. And so basically, you know, I've always had great conversations with them that I could learn from, that have inspired me and that have motivated me. And so I felt like it was selfish for me to keep it to myself.
Absolutely.
You know, and so I decided to, you know, with their blessing, you know, it started with, you know, people that were close to me, family members that were inspiring to me. And so I would interview them and then just share their stories for inspiration and motivation. And now it's grown at a crazy rate. And man, I'm here talking with Catholic Christian. That is crazy. So I'm so thankful for that opportunity.
That's incredible. Well, that's, and to be able to, really acknowledge how blessed, we are. I think a lot of people go through life and don't really acknowledge it. They're always looking for more, looking for other things, or looking at what they don't have versus what they did have.
Correct.
And knowing that you just had this amazing mentorship, growing up and wanting to pay it forward. I think that's pretty incredible and says a lot about you. So for you, that's where that came from. And going through the book, where did the idea of the book, where did the title, the content, where did that stem from for you? I know part of it overlaps, but.
Yeah, and it does overlap. And that's been the really cool thing about this experience is in my searching and hoping to just give back and show appreciation. I've been blessed with so many amazing opportunities, just like I talked about being here with you. And the book is one of those opportunities. I connected with a guy, Dr. Oliver T. Reed, amazing man, a preacher, life coach, does lots of philanthropic work in the Maryland, DC area. And just a great guy. So I interviewed him and we hit it off. We did several topic sessions and just a great guy. And so it was like, hey, this is good stuff. We need to get this in a book. So that's where it comes from, growing through your go through. None of us are exempt or immune to going through tough things. We all go through tough things in our life. And so that's basically what it is. We just go. We put our conversation that we had talking about growing through our go through. That's the first thing in the book. And then we go.
So for anyone who hasn't read the book or doesn't know, can you define like what the go through is, like how you describe that?
Yes, just basically, just like I said, your go through to me is whatever it is personally, adversity that you're going to face in your life that may hold you back if you use it as an excuse. But if you choose to use it as, use your pain for purpose or, use it as motivation, then that allows you to elevate. There we go. Elevate and live elevated, and so basically that's what it is. Like I said, we do the conversation between us. Then we both tell an experience in our life where we had to grow through our go through personally. And we give practical steps of how we made it through that. And it's a journal as well. So as you go through, journal questions and you can make it personal to you and help you grow through your go through. So that's basically what the book is. And it'll be a 4-part series. And so that's the first book of 4 books. And we're going to be dropping the second one soon.
Nice.
I don't want to say too much, but it's coming.
That's fantastic. So really, it sounds like a guide for people to be able to know how to get through those tough times and how to come out on the other side, and really shine through that process.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. And that's something I know you and I were chatting about before, and it's just people, there's these, different, as you work with youth, and I've worked with youth for 17 years. And just seeing like the reasons why people don't achieve at the level of success that they can, and seeing those guys who are, really unconfident because they have a reason to, they were verbally abused, physically abused, things happened, and it kind of warped their identity, and they became very unconfident or self-conscious. And so they've never like stepped out there and are just fearful too. And then there's the people that felt like they got dealt a bad deck of hand, right? Deck of cards. I don't play cards. I think everyone can tell from that. And they're just like, look what, well, yeah, good for you, but look what I got given, and look what I have, and you have that. And, and they don't realize that like everyone, and even the people, and I'm sure you've seen this before, man, where people that have it all together and everything looks great on the outside, inside, not so much.
And that's the beauty of it all. I'm gonna go Vacation Bible School on you right here. If that's okay.
Yes, bring it.
There's a song we all learn in Vacation Bible School that says, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. And so, each one of us are our own individual. God made us as a one of one, and so what we have to do is understand that, there may be circumstances that we come across. We may have two parents, we may have whatever it is you grow through. We all have to have a personal thing, a firsthand experience to where we learn ourselves.
Right.
And so nobody's immune from having that, and so, we have to just, make sure that we learn to enjoy that experience and know that, like if you don't stretch yourself, you don't get better. If you don't get out of your comfort zone and do some things that's uncomfortable to you, that make you really work hard, that you have no clue how this is going to end, but I know I'm going to work my tail off to make it right. We have to enjoy those opportunities, experiences, and know that on the other side of that, we will be better. But yes, we will be better. But the big thing is that we will be better so that we can help others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And someone asked me, I was on Sunday, we had an event at Cavo, and I had someone say, what's your favorite quote? And I said, my favorite quote, it's a great question. I said, it's by Mother Teresa. And it's a version of this. I might butcher a word or two, so it might not be a perfect quote, but she says, I know God doesn't give us more than we can handle, but I wish he didn't trust me so much. And it's one of it's on every time. I'm like, it's something that's resounded so deeply for me, because, there's some of you out there right now who are listening to this and you might be like, oh, I'm just going to enjoy the process. And I know you've been through some stuff, because I have been through some things that I hope no one ever goes through. And I know there is so much hurt in this world. And there's so many hurting people, and hurting people hurt others. And it stinks. And I think it's up to us, who know and have seen and have felt the light and have felt our Creator, to be that light for others around us, and I really feel that we almost have a responsibility, and we're given a strength. If we choose to say, you know what, I'm going to use this to be a guiding light for other people. Like, I know, like Mother Teresa said, like, okay, apparently I can handle this, even though it doesn't feel like it, even though it sucks, watching people get molested, physically, verbally abused, watching people get murdered, watching, like, it's sickening, and I've been near a lot of this stuff. And some people might listen to this and go, I can't believe you're talking about that. It needs to be spoken of. There's a lot of bullcrap that happens out there, and it hurts. It really hurts. But I do believe that if it happened, like, you can grow stronger if you choose to. You can say, how can I strengthen from this? How can I grow from this? How can I learn? How can I help others through this? Right? There's different things. And so I don't, people say, oh, everything happens for a reason. And I don't know that it happened for a reason. You needed to get molested. No, but everything happens and it's part of our journey. For me, everything happens and it's part of my picture, of my masterpiece. Right? And for those who have heard me speak, I always talk about our lives really unfolding piece by piece, like a puzzle. And some of the pieces, sometimes you don't know where they fit. You don't know why they're there. They don't seem like they go, but in the end, those hard times are some of the things that made you that brought your strengths about, and brought some of the most beautiful parts out of you out when you went through that dark time. Yes. And you see people like Oprah Winfrey and Will Smith, and oh my gosh, we could sit and talk about all these people. Lady Gaga this past week on the Oscars, watching her Sunday night was so beautiful. But knowing the discouragement they went through, the verbal abuse people went through, the physical abuse people went through, and they decided to, instead of shut down and say, woe is me, they said, okay, I don't want this, and I'm not going to accept this as is. I want more, and I want to have joy, and I want to be fulfilled. And I know that I have something within me that I can share with the world, and I'm going to figure out what that is and how to do it. And I think it's really beautiful that, you really focus on that and letting people understand, hey, you can get through this. Here's how you do this, so that you can see them come out on the other side, because it's people like you, Chip Baker, that help these youth come out, and they will talk about you for years to come, and that they're top level executives and they're owning businesses and whatever success it is. And if it hadn't been for that badass coach I had in high school that really taught me a lot, and that I followed, and that I read his book, I don't know that I would have ever, really seen that, oh, wow, that's possible for me. I don't have to go with the flow, right? Those people who say, well, this is the way it is. And like, for us, this is how we make it through life. And we do what we got to do. And like, no, it's not.
Right.
So I think that's really amazing.
If you don't mind, you threw a quote out there. I'd like to give a quote as well, if you don't mind. On my desk,
I was just going to ask you your favorite.
on my desk, I have everywhere I've been, I have 4 quotes that I have framed, and I keep those on my desk. And I have a picture of the house that I grew up in to remind me and help me keep perspective on where I've come from, and the beautiful things that I've gone through. And so one of those quotes that's on my desk, it says, "I give because I know exactly what it feels like to have nothing." And so that's why I do what I do. I've been I can relate to those kids that have gone through those tough situations, and haven't had a this or that, or a single parent, or all of those things that the tough things that we go through. And so that helps me keep it all in perspective, because every day I'm blessed with the opportunity to make a positive difference in the life of someone every day. I don't take it lightly. And so I think that's why it's so important. It's kind of a process. You have to look within to win. You have to have, you talked about the perspective and the mindset. I think you have to have the proper mindset and perspective. For those of you that have glasses, before you got those glasses, you saw things a certain way. Once you put those lenses on, hey, it changed the way you saw things. And so I ask, those people that are watching this, what lenses do you have on? Do you have your positive perspective lenses on? And so I think we have to do that first. And when we allow ourselves to do that, it helps us, just like I said earlier, it helps us be great for other people. It allows us to build those relationships that are super important. And, you talked about me. I've been an educator, and those, that guy that runs your office, he had some good things to say. And like, that makes me proud, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, every day I went to that place and tried to give every one of those kids everything I got, like like, I don't take it lightly. It's serious to me. So like, I don't just show up just to pass the time. Like, everything I did every day was intentional because of that, because I know it was so many people in my life that did that for me. And now I'm just trying to return, that favor and the positive ripple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're definitely doing that. That's for sure. So it's really, really neat to see that. So if what are some of the tips or keys that you like to give people when it comes to being able to really transform and go through the go-through? I'd love for you to share a little about that.
I kind of hit on a little bit of it, already. I think, first off, I think you have to look within. It starts with you. You are in control of your destiny. Don't make excuses. Like we talked about, all of those situations, we could look at them as excuses, like pick one, they're all out there, but what you have to do is say, hey, I'm going to use, that pain for purpose. I think you have to look within first of all and see, where you've gone wrong, the things that you've done. And sometimes, like you said, you may have been put in unfortunate situation, things that you can't control. But when you can learn to control the heck out of whatever, you can control, and don't worry about the uncontrollables, then you're gonna soar to high heights. And so I think that's where it all starts, looking within the wind. I think you really have to focus on your mindset. Like I said, have the right perspective. I think, finding balance, and that's something that, and it's funny you asked me that, because I think that's really big for me, the balance. I got 10 things that I really focus on, the balance. If you don't mind, can I share those?
Yeah, please.
I think faith, family, your job, personal growth, relationships, uh, striving to make a difference, being present. And there's a SHG principle that I have. And this is the three, it's in there, showing up, having a great attitude, and giving maximum effort. And then the last one is being the glue. And so I think when you can, if you visualize a pie,
Right.
a pie chart, the goal is, some people say, well, the pie equals 100. Well, my chart's 1,000, Kathy. It's 1,000 because I'm shooting to give 100% in every one of those areas every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if you can do that, and granted, I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm gonna make lots of mistakes.
Oh yeah.
But I'm trying to minimize those. But if I get to 60% in one today, well, I gotta work tomorrow to get to 100 on it. And so I think if we can, take an approach like that, and really, I say pie, you think about, that pie that your grandmother or your mom makes that's really good, right? Like it's your fault. That's my favorite, well, it all starts with ingredients.
Yeah.
It all starts with the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
The ingredients are set out, but the way that thing comes out great is the way it's put together, is the way it's baked, the way it's whatever, however it's done. What makes it great is how it's put together. And the great thing about it is, like we're in control of how we cook our life, how we bake our lives, and that's the beauty in it. So you can have a great pie too.
I'm writing notes. I like the pie. I like the analogy.
That's it. I visualized, I had in college, I had to have a good friend, Terrence High, T-Dog. And I got to give him a shout out here. But he didn't, his family, they live not very far from our college, where I was way off. I was like 10-hour drive from my hometown. So that was like second home for me. And, his Mima, his grandmother, they kind of lived out, had animals and all of that stuff, fresh eggs, all of that stuff. And so she would make this peach cobbler. I mean, with the crisscross crust, with the sugary glaze, like all of that. Like, and so when I think of pie, that great pie that we can create, I think of how she made that. It was my favorite,
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Chip, I want to respect your time, and I just appreciate you so much for taking time to speak to our community, to speak to the world. And anyone watching this, comment below here. You've got the YouTube link. Share it with the world. Someone who's just making a beautiful impact in this place. And I love to share people who are being incredible lights, because we need more of that. We need more bright lights in our world. And so I'd say, any final tips or keys that you would give to anyone, anything that's really helped. You've shared a lot already, but anything else that comes to mind, and to wrap up with, to you, if I said to you, what does it mean to you to live elevated? How would you define that?
Well, you see, I sit up in my chair, right?
Here it comes. Here comes the good stuff.
Baby. Let's go. I think first, I'm a music guy, so I think of the song from Drake, Elevate, Elevate, that comes to mind first. But to me, I'm gonna just go with my tagline on my YouTube channel. And when I say these words, every time I say it gives me chills, because this is me. This is my life. This is what I wholeheartedly believe in. I think first, in your life, if you want to live elevated, you have to live. And when I say live, I mean, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Go enjoy the experiences. Stretch yourself. Get outside the box. Do some things that we really don't do. You know what I say? Oh wait, oh, you're an art. Yeah. We really don't do those. That's right. Yeah. Get outside the box.
Yeah.
And then from there, when you live, you have learning experiences. So learn is the second thing, from the errors, from the lessons, take what you can learn and use those to help you elevate. Then from there, it's important, that you serve, that you give service, and help others that can benefit from you, that can benefit from your story, that can benefit from the things that you're blessed and fortunate to do, and I say this all the time, I truly feel that I'm blessed to be a blessing,
Yeah. Amen. I feel the same way.
I think that it's selfish to have blessings and not help others. Like I can't, you got to do that, and then inspire is the next thing. And so, when you grow through your when you go through those things that you could have used as excuses, but you chose to, repurpose your pain. Use that pain as your passion.
Cool.
And you do those things. It's inspiring. Because there's other people that have gone through the same thing or will go through the same thing that need to hear it or see it. And it's inspiring. And so live, learn, serve
and inspire.
And then the last thing that's big to me, if there's anything that you want to do in life, it's not going to come to you. You got to go get it. And that's the big deal. Go get it.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Mr. Baker, I would love for you to comment, and I shared on Facebook. So it's on Facebook right now. The link is over there, and share it on your page as well. But if you can comment on the video,
yes,
make sure to write where people can find you. And if you just want to say it real quick, your
that's
website.
What I was going to ask you. Yeah, if I could do that. So where you can find me on the YouTube channel is Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles. Please go check it out. It's something for everybody, for inspiration and motivation. I interview people and share their stories, their success stories. And so, if you don't have time to sit and watch a video, which I understand that, hey, it's on podcasts, go search any podcast platform, Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles. Also on the YouTube channel, I have like motivational shorts, what's on your hearts, just everything, character building lessons that I've done, my speeches. I'm a speaker as well. So any of you guys need a speaker and come out, hit me up. But, then Instagram, Twitter is at Chip Baker, TSC. And then Facebook and LinkedIn is Chip
TSC?
Yeah, like the Success Chronicles.
Perfect.
TSC. And then Facebook and LinkedIn is Chip Baker, The Success Chronicles. So go check it out. Awesome. Give it a like, a follow, a subscribe. But the big deal, the reason why I do it is to share it with others. So if you see something you like, please, please, please share it with someone else.
Yep. Keep expanding this conversation.
That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much. Super excited that you took the time to share here, and excited to see what you keep doing in the world, Chip. You're definitely making an incredible imprint. So thank you.